Hey guys, it's Yutashi here. We got Sandor. You got first place, undefeated in the Spells of Magic Championship Series. And what were you playing today?
Tribal Dragon, Abyss Cavern, Kaiju, and Lord of Sand. So basically just like all the good decks, all the good cards in the game basically. For my main deck, I played 2 Knowledge of the Dragons, 2 Blood Dance. Heartache and Sacrilegs are actually just like the cards that you really want to open up with turn 1 because it lets you do the Dogra Greed play turn 1. So yeah, you always want to open like one of these 4. If you do and it doesn't get stopped, it's really hard to lose. I played 2 Dragon Harvests, obviously for the Tribal Dragon stuff. The interaction with Regal and the Abyss Caverns are really good. I'll explain that later on in the creature deck, but I played 2 Crown Eggs to summon Regal, 2 Base Eggs, literally just to summon Lord of the Sands. Like, Lord of the Sands is just like a really good boss monster. Usually if you draw this turn 1, you don't really play it until your opponent has like an established board. I never used it to summon Tai Long, just only kept it in my hand when I needed to get rid of a threat. Last white magic cards were 2 Blossoming Ashes. I really didn't know what I wanted to play for these spots. I figured this is just a good generic card, like whether you're if you're winning, this doesn't really matter. And if you're losing, like, you can play it. It's like another card that blocks an attack. You draw a card, you gain blood. So like it's overall like yeah, it's really good with greed. Like if you draw this in greed turn 1, or like a greed combo turn 1, like you just automatically win. For the black magics, Hexplate, this is really good. I play a lot of defense as well with Tribal Dragons. Like the deck is consistent enough that like you just keep summoning guys every turn, and you can just like stop your opponent's plays pretty easily with playing a lot of defensive cards. So we had 2 cancels, 2 Totem of the Law, 2 Protection of the Dragons, 2 Tablet of Atlantis. This is just strictly better than like the Sand.
Quicksand?
Quicksand, and it's also better than the Demise card because it exiles. Like, especially against like the mirror match, like Tribal Dragons, like you'd rather just exile them immediately. And you can also just exile like Dogra when you're going second, which happened a lot. 2 Copy Code. This card's really good going first when they have an out to your Dogra play. So if they try to Quicksand or like Atlantis or Demise your Dogra, you just copy code it and you still get the effect, and they just lost a card going second against a draw like 3 plays, so they automatically just lose. Tablet of the Jungle. This was just like another card that draws. It's really, really good late game. The only time it could ever be dead is like turn 1, and even then, like you usually end up putting 3 cards in the grave by just having like draw cards like Blood Dance, Knowledge. So like you just send them back and like Hexplate as well, right? So you just send them back, draw, and keep drawing. And then like the best card in the game, this card's like insanely broken with Dogra. You just add it every time. For the creatures, for the Tribal Dragons, I played like very few compared to most decks. I just wanted to play like the good ones. So the reason why these are like the best ones, Regal, when he's summoned, he just sends 2 cards off the top of your soul deck. So you can either mill these ones, or you can mill Leviathan. Which is like insane because, yeah, this Cavern's really good just because of Cthulhu.
Did you ever summon the Kraken?
The Kraken, I never summoned it. This card actually kind of sucked today. I thought that I would be able to like summon this, exile a card, and then like next turn threaten like game by having like 20 cards in my graveyard, but it never happened. I always just ended up taking their Cthulhu's with mine, and then just like taking more cards and just swinging for game immediately. But yeah, and Taifu is like extremely underrated. Like it doesn't target, it shuffles any threat away, and it's a good target obviously for Heartache once you've already used your kaijus. So you play just one of each kaiju. If you mill it, you can shuffle it back with the tablet card, and even if you mill one, you can still use the other. Like let's say you mill this one, well, you can still summon this with Heartache, and if you mill this one, you can still summon this with Sacrileg, and then just summon it from the graveyard because it doesn't specify where. So that's pretty cool. It just sucks if you mill both of them.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, exactly. And I only played one Cthulhu. I'd probably cut the Kraken for the second one. I never needed the second one, but there were situations where if my opponent had like a certain card, I would be in a really bad situation and if I didn't have the second Cthulhu, but it worked out today that I didn't really need it. And then last two cards are just two Lord of the Sand. If you mill this, it sucks, but like it's like your main card that you send with or you use with base egg. So that's why you have to play two, because if you mill one, then your base egg is basically just dead. And yeah, it's really good. Like, it just doesn't die at the end of the turn. It gets rid of a card 6/6, and yeah. Quick side deck. I only sided 6 cards. I sided 2 Demise, 2 Quicksand, 1 Fox of the Sand, and 1 Zephos. Reason being, these cards are really good going second because Dogger into Greed is definitely like the most powerful play in the game, and if you can stop your opponent's Dogger, then you usually win if you can follow it up with like a Dogger yourself. So you just end up taking out the copy codes and the Ash Blossoms because they don't really do anything when you're going second to draw them, and you put in these 4 and you just gain 4 defensive cards to stop your opponent's Dogger. Which like came out a bunch of times, and they're just good against like elemental swords and like just cards in general. This card was only for the mirror match, or like if I go into time, but like against the mirror match, like your opponent usually just reanimates a bunch of guys, and they all have very little defense. Like what's his name? Regal only has 2. You can hit your opponent's Zephos, or you can just like burn them, and he's like just big, so. I kind of wanted him for the mirror match, and Fox of the Desert was just another good card going second to have like an extra Lord of the Sand if my opponent like just makes like big boards basically. So yeah, that was pretty much it.
All right, thanks so much, Sandor. Congratulations on first, and we'll see you guys next time.